Transcontinental Railroad connected the United States from east to west. In 1862, the U.S. government made a law called the Pacific Railroad Act. The law involved two companies, the Central Pacific Railroad Company and the Union Pacific Railroad Company. The law let both companies work on a railroad to connect the entire United States from east to west. The Central Pacific Railroad Company started building tracks in the west. The Union Pacific started in the east. The two companies raced toward each other over 7 years. Both faced great difficulties before they met in Utah in 1869. America's first steam train engine was shown in 1830. Burning coal was used to heat water that turned into steam. The steam-powered engine made the train move. Over the next 20 years, railroad tracks connected many cities on the East Coast. In the 1800s, American settlers were moving west to set up homes on new land. Even more people moved west after gold was discovered in California. However, the trip by land was dangerous and difficult. Building through the mountains. In 1860, a young engineer named Theodore Judah wanted to find a better solution. He decided the best path was through Donner Pass. This route went through the Sierra Nevada mountains in California. Judah wanted to build a railroad across the pass so that people could cross the country more easily. Judah started the Central Pacific Railroad Company and went to Washington, D.C. He helped convince government lawmakers and President Abraham Lincoln to support the railroad project. Then the government made the Pacific Railroad Act. The act said that the Central Pacific Railroad Company would start building in Sacramento and continue east. The Union Pacific Railroad would start from Omaha, Nebraska. The government would give each company land and money for every mile of track built. The two companies had to compete with each other. Both wanted to build as much of the railroad as possible in order to get more land and money. Union Pacific moves west after the Civil War. There were other ways of making a profit, too. Thomas Durant was the main owner of the Union Pacific. He paid lawmakers in the U.S. government. These lawmakers made the government give extra money to Union Pacific, even if it was not needed. Some owners of the Union Pacific made a lot of money this way. The Union Pacific was started in 1863 but could not build much at first because the Civil War was happening between the North and the South. The Civil War ended in 1865, and in 1866, the Union Pacific Company finally began to move west. The workers were attacked by Native Americans who were trying to protect their territory. Members of the Sioux, Arapaho, and Cheyenne tribes felt threatened by the white man and his trains, which they called iron horses. Still, the Union Pacific was able to move quickly across the plains. Central Pacific hires Chinese workers. The Central Pacific was much slower because its railroad had to pass through the mountains. In 1865, the company began hiring Chinese workers who were living on the West Coast. White Americans were racist toward the Chinese, yet the Chinese were hard workers, so Central Pacific continued to hire them. By 1867, thousands of Chinese were doing dangerous work in the mountains. Meanwhile, the workers of the Union Pacific were mostly white. Most of its workers were Irish immigrants and veterans from the Civil War. By the summer of 1867, the Union Pacific had gotten farther than the Central Pacific. The Central Pacific workers didn't break through the mountains until June, but now the hard part was behind them. The railroad is finished. Both companies rushed to build as quickly as possible. The work started getting even less safe. Workers built weak bridges or tracks that had to be rebuilt later. At the beginning of 1869, the companies were close to each other. The new president, Ulysses S. Grant, made them decide where to make the railroads meet. They decided on Promontory Summit in Utah. On May 10th, the tracks were fully connected. The news was sent to President Grant and the whole country. The Transcontinental Railroad was complete.